They say that the enemy of your enemy is your friend, but I'm not sure if Le Grand Couloir is my friend in Courchevel. So recently, I was on a trip with 9-10 lads, and we went skiing in the Alps. And talk of the trip was this: Le Grand Couloir, the hardest run supposedly in Europe, often closed due to bad weather conditions or clouds. But the hardest part of the run is arguably the first bit that you're seeing right now. Very short, very narrow, gain a lot of speed, a few moguls as well, and ultimately, it is probably the scariest bit of the run for me especially. So either side of this, you got a massive drop, and ultimately if you fall or you get a bit too much speed and can't properly stop, and you could go flying down that easily, especially on skis. Now, I had a friend on a snowboard who did it, and I think this hardest bit at the start is really the most dangerous bit in my opinion. I'm not a professional skier, I'm not, advanced in any way, but I think on a snowboard, being able to toe leaf it down, especially down the straights and not getting too much speed, is such a valuable thing. Whereas on skis, my fear was that, sometimes I get a bit carried away and I just send it, and on skis, it's too narrow to snowplow that. You have to side by side it, so it's pretty booky, to be honest with you. Now, this is my friend Tommy doing the run. He recorded the run. He's just dropped in after arguably the hardest bit, that scary bit. And you'll see just how steep it truly is right here. And to be honest with you, on these wide-angle cameras, it never looks as bad as it is. But I think the first bit and the first drop-in is insanely steep. And one thing in real life that really struck me, especially towards the end of the run, was just how big these moguls are. So these moguls are huge. And again, this isn't me doing the run. This is my friend Tommy. He's a better skier than me. I think he's been 5 times before. He said 5 trips, and he absolutely sends it. He's a great skier. I didn't do this. I was super tempted to do it, and I really thought, is it worth it? Do I feel ready? Because I was like, I've got too much to lose to go flying off the side of the edge here. But I did want to be one of the people that said, yeah, I've done Grand Couloir. So Tommy went up to do it first, and he kind of came back afterwards to give us a bit of feedback. He loved it after completing it, but it's just the only thing. Look at that spray, goodness me, it's very steep and get a lot of speed. But the main thing that turned me off it was the intro, especially just the drop either side. Like here, I'm confident I could handle those moguls. If I fall, not a problem. But it was just the fact of, if I fall up the top there from getting too much speed, I'm flying down the side, who knows what's going to happen. I thought there's no rush. Next time I'll do it. I did several blacks, I did hard reds, big moguls in the ski park. So I'm definitely going to do Grand Couloir in the future. Here's a nice bit, a few less moguls, get some real nice speed. So there's pretty much the scenario with it. I think that, if you're ready, you're ready. You could do it. Is it the hardest run in Europe? Well, I've done some pretty tough ones. I think it's the hardest run in the sense of, if it goes wrong on a black normally, you fall over, you tumble down the whole entirety of the slope, and life goes on normally. On this one, if you fall at the start because you're getting too much speed and you do a little backflip and you fall off the side, I don't really know what happens to you. That's the thing about it. Overall though, I had some friends that did it as well, and they haven't had too much experience snowboarding, but they're very good nonetheless. So it's really one of those things where I think it's all about confidence. For me, I'm in no rush nowadays. If it talks me 3 or 4 years ago, if all my friends are doing it, then 100% I'm sending it, even if I'm not ready. But now I'm older, I'm more mature. I've decided to wait a few more years. But yeah, one thing as well is that the video does not do it justice just how steep these moguls are. Like they're massive. But again, if you're good on moguls, then you'll be fine. Such a cool sort of view as well going down. And one thing I learned this trip with moguls especially was that I would get some serious speed, I'd drop, but you just got to relax the legs, you got to bend, you got to go with the flow, let the mogul carry you, let the mogul do the work, and then you turn. So for me, I had quite a big learning experience this trip in the French Alps with moguls, and ultimately that is probably another reason why I thought, you know what, I'll just wait a bit longer before I do this, because yeah, moguls were my enemy. They still are my enemy in some way, but they're also my friend now. I also got a video of the ski park, so this is where we're waiting down the bottom there. The ski park has some great moguls in the 3 Alps where you can practice going on stuff like this, and ultimately one of my friends said, if you can do those moguls at that ski park, which you just did, then you could do the Grand Couloir in that sense. But again, my friends aren't skiers or experts or professionals, so take everything with a pinch of salt. Whilst it could possibly be true, there's nothing to replicate the fear of going off the side of the mountain. And so, as they say, life is not worth sacrificing sometimes for a sick run. Also, it depends what skis you have as well. Sometimes twin tips are better to go over moguls with, I think. But you'll see the run itself is very, very long. I actually thought we was down the bottom here. We're even further down at the very bottom of the run. But you just see the actual weight you have to put behind the legs to really stop and not go flying down the moguls. There's no clear-cut path, I don't think. You just got to follow the path that people have set. And the more people that go down the Grand Couloir, the bigger the moguls get, assuming everybody takes the same path. And it leads back out onto a red run. But for now, that's all I've got to say. We're about to see us at the bottom down there. The red run is pretty steep, but nothing compared to Grand Couloir. I think this end bit is a lot more stable. But like I say, I'm not a professional skier. I didn't do the Grand Couloir. My friend Tommy did. Fantastic skier. And here he is. He's alive. We celebrated. But thank you very much for watching this video. Take care. Leave a like and subscribe.
Amazing, I'm doing it again right now. Oh my god.